Tecsew Limited, based in Gosport, Hampshire, manufactures yacht canopies. Their industry demands that prices are quoted and then held for several months, up to and beyond the next boat show, which often caused problems when cost prices increased. Their accounts were run with Sage Line 50, and production was managed using a series of Excel spreadsheets. The company realised that if it were to expand and move away from the inherent problems that a fragmented approach to production management causes, they would need to upgrade to a more integrated solution. Tecsew considered upgrading their account software, with the vendor also offering a manufacturing and CRM solution. However, with a cost of over £50,000 for the software and training, plus additional annual maintenance, Tecsew felt that they were being oversold. Said John Bland, Managing Director, "We were already sceptical of upgrading to MRP after one of our suppliers bought a different system and, after a year, put it back in the box because of a failed implementation. We were working with BusinessLink, who recommended that we ask the vendor to show us the product working on site with the customer, but they got quite defensive about it. The fact that we even asked to see it working seemed to be a no-no. BusinessLink suggested that Tecsew attend a 123mrp.net evaluation workshop. John added, "We went to the workshop and then watched the movies on the DVD and were happy with what we saw. We got to evaluate it without any hard sell. Without going too far down the road in terms of commitment, we had a good idea of how the product worked, even without being too familiar with MRP. We realised that there were a lot of aspects that it could bring to the business that we hadn't thought of." In October 2006, Tecsew decided to register for 123mrp.net, and 2 people attended the 5 days of training. By the end of November, the company went live across quoting, sales acknowledgements and invoicing. Integration between Sage Line 50 and 123mrp.net was handled by the Advanced Accounts Interface developed by Rent IT approved partner Applied Business Solutions. John Bland attended further training in February 2007, increasing the number of licenses from 4 to 5 and bringing the system live across all departments the following month. Said John, "We spent a lot of time working with suppliers to get the right information into the system. We emailed them spreadsheets, which they then populated with product codes of all of the items we purchased, which we then imported directly into 123mrp.net. Working with vendors in this way delivered some unforeseen benefits. From the spreadsheet supplied by the vendors, John could see that some items were stocked in large denomination boxes, for example 144 items per box, whereas Tecsew may purchase in quantities of 50 or 100. This meant that not only were they paying a premium for vendors to repackage based on their orders, but that these orders had to be manually counted upon receipt and were prone to error. Also, it has allowed Tecsew to identify items that often run into short supply, for example due to late customs clearance. So while stock holding values have actually increased, it has reduced lead times and improved their accuracy. Stock inaccuracies have been virtually eradicated, with John citing that previously stock taking had been performed only occasionally as the amount of time taken to perform it was prohibitive. Now rolling stock checks are done against generated stock lists. Upon go live, the visibility of where jobs were in production became clear. Having visibility of work in progress has also allowed Tecsew to maximise cash flow by identifying jobs that can be pushed out before month end for invoicing. We can quickly identify where labour-intensive jobs are and prioritise those jobs that we can turn around quicker. To take advantage of quieter periods, faster moving items are manufactured for stock. Overtime has been reduced by over 90% due to much better planning. John noted, "What was previously unnerving for us was that in 1 week we would have tight deadlines on orders, but then the following week we would be working well below capacity." 123mrp.net has completely changed Tecsew's approach to purchasing due to the immediate visibility of purchasing history for any item. As we are now buying much more strategically and have the visibility of purchases, we now have much more buying power than before, which we are using to our advantage. It's very easy within 123mrp.net for us to handle tenders, and this delivered huge savings recently when we tendered for stainless steel, which in recent months has doubled in price. Now we can provide vendors with larger purchase orders with call-off dates. We get the price we need and they get a firm commitment, which is a big carrot. Companies are now queuing up to be invited to tender for our business. And we've seen a downward trend on cost prices. John cites that the company now has a much more professional image. All of our quotes and sales orders have contact details and photos, which personalises them. Rather than dealing with a company over there, we find that customers are asking for staff directly. Previously, we just jotted inquiries down somewhere with no tracking. Now it goes out immediately in PDF format via email. The amount of paperwork generated overall has also decreased by around 80%, as purchase orders, sales orders and invoices are emailed wherever possible. Tecsew implemented barcode readers to take advantage of 123MRP.net's inbuilt shop floor data capture facility. At each stage of the production process, the operator simply scans the works order, scans their ID card and scans the job status. This is immediately live for all staff to see. I can't believe that more companies aren't using barcoding. It's so simple to implement, as 123MRP.net puts barcodes directly onto worksheets. With the economic downturn likely to hit the leisure industry hard, Tecsew has made a commitment to their customers of holding their prices for the coming year, which John attributes as possible only because of 123MRP.net. Our customers sell boats at shows that may not be delivered for 9 months. We could not have made this offer if we did not have the control that 123MRP.net now gives us over our production and purchasing. We're looking to expand the company once the country is out of recession. We're now lean and on a good footing to take on new business. Having the right system in place gives us much more confidence to take planning decisions. MRP in general may be taken as something that only large companies need, but that simply isn't the case. During the last recession, we cut down on all non-essentials, but I couldn't envisage being without 123MRP.net now. It pays for itself.